Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Isani Caetano. Good morning.
And good morning, Isani. Happy Wednesday.
Happy July 1st.
I know, you're right. I should have opened with that. It is July 1st. I forgot. We were just talking about that moments ago, and I can't realize we're already in the 7th month. The time's flying by quite quickly. We were talking about that, me and Paul, yesterday as well. But you got any plans for this month? Anything that you are looking forward to accomplish in the month of July?
Girl, I need to lie to you. And most parents, you guys would be able to relate to this.
Tell me.
Summer months is preparation, or summer months are preparation for back to school in August, September. So while the kids are at home and they're enjoying the time off from school, the parents are working extra hard to put together a budget for uniforms, school fees, and everything else. Right?
That is true.
So while I'm in pocket right now and I have everything together, that's my primary focus.
Yeah.
And I got no other plan for myself per se, but
But you also have to keep the kids active and occupied during this month as well, because they're at home, and so these kids, they want extra snacks, they want go somewhere, do something.
In my case, I don't have to worry about that as much.
Okay.
Right? My daughter is working.
Oh, yes.
She's been working from first farm. Good for her. And then my son, we try to get him engaged in summer school, swimming, and all of these other things. So they're enjoying their summertime, but they're also being productive.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know that a lot of the kids and even teachers, they're enjoying the time off as well. And so, we're looking on and being a little bit jealous.
Hold on, which teacher they enjoy their time off?
I'll tell you, my sister. I have an older sister, and I see her online on TikTok enjoying for she's summer vacation. At least that's what, the internet makes it look like. But social media isn't real as well.
Teachers will tell you that summertime they have to do CPD.
That's true.
Right? They have to do workshop. They have to go back at some point and fix up the classroom for September. So there really isn't much rest that teachers get, and I could empathize with that.
Well, you know what they say, social media is an illusion. So maybe she's just faking it
it's
and
not
trying
a
to
real
make
place,
it.
Right?
All right, let's jump into what we have lined up for you guys this morning. We have a fantastic show. It's Wednesday, but I'm really looking forward to the conversation. It feels a little bit on the lighter side, but definitely meaningful conversations regardless. Let's go over here. So we're going to start things off with the Women's Commission powering a fundraiser for No Matta What. Now, this is exciting for those who remember this soap opera, Belizean soap opera show from about 2 decades ago. We might be seeing a resurgence of No Matta What, and this collaboration is one we definitely hope to talk about. And then Coca-Cola kicks off FIFA World Cup celebrations. I saw, people talking about the World Cup yesterday. I even got a PM, a private message from a viewer asking, what team I root for? Well, I'll tell you later. And then Super Furia drops a brand new track, and so we'll be joined by a representative or a member of the Super Furia band to talk about their latest track record. And finally, unfolding the 2026 plans for Miss Universe Belize. We also announced that Miss Universe has recently gotten a new ownership from El Salvador. However, the current director is former Miss Earth, Destiny Wagner. And so we'll be joined by her talking about the updates and, of course, who might be interested in joining the next Miss Universe delegation. Here's all the details that you'll want to lock into for this segment. I'll send things over to Isani now.
All right, thanks, Sab. All right, so here are the 5 things you guys need to know before you leave your homes this morning. The cybercrime charge against Alberto August was officially dropped yesterday. This is a conversation we have to have this morning. All right? And of course, secondly, the NCFC, UNICEF, and its partners, they put together a comprehensive document, a guideline to look at protecting children, right? So whose job is it to protect a child? And of course, yesterday it was also made official that Deputy Mayor Elude Miller is moving ahead with his plans to run for mayor, which means that he will have to go to convention with Alan Pollard Jr. And so that's another conversation we're going to be having. And earlier in the week, because of the lobster season kicking off, the priest, the Catholic priest, was out there blessing boats, right? So that they have good luck with those people who are doing the lobster fishing. And lastly, last night we kicked off KTV with the audition show, and I'm certain that you guys were locked in yesterday to see who is running or who's part of the competition this time around. And of course, that's also a conversation we're going to be having. Sab?
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Isani, for that update. I know that, as he said, a lot of people were locked in on KTV, the remix audition last night. We'll get to that in just a moment, but perhaps we can begin the conversation with an update coming from the social media cyberbullying situation that we were monitoring with Alberto August, which we really have been tagging as the start of this entire controversy surrounding the Mira scandal, right? The Mira Millions, as we are dubbing it. Well, it was announced yesterday that the charges, the cyberbullying charges against him has been dropped. This is something that I think a lot of people were expecting after how everything has been unfolding. They're also considering that the new appointment or the temporary appointment of Mr. Espat might also be a contribution to that as well.
All right, so here we go, Sab. So Oscar Mira has been sidelined, and as you mentioned, it gave rise to Julius Espat to hold over in the interim, right? While there's an audit and an investigation into the Mira Millions, as we've mentioned. But I think one of the most practical and prudent thing that Mr. Espat could have done, for which he's being acknowledged and commended elsewhere, is the fact that he took this very issue of the post, the controversial post that set off everything, and he said, let's get an independent legal opinion as to the weight or the merits of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Sent it to the office of the DPP for review. And so yesterday it was made formal. Look, we're not going beyond this point. But here's the thing, right? All of this hinges on free speech and expression, and the idea that, as we've said, it would seem as if though the Cybercrime Act was being weaponized to target one person who shared an opinion online in the social media space, right? But the irony of it is, had Oscar Mira not gone there, we never may know nothing about all of their millions where they go.
The skeletons, right?
So it's almost as if though he kicked our horse nest and he's sorry he kicked our horse nest.
That's the one way to put it. That's one way to put it right there, Isani. But I was thinking to myself, this matter being taken to the DPP, it's interesting because a few weeks ago it was me and you on the couch here with Attorney Dickie Bradley also saying that that wouldn't hold up in court. Yeah. And so this really just confirms that.
But here's also the irony, right? Last week, our colleagues in the media interviewed the Commissioner of Police on this very same matter. And he said that, I'm paraphrasing, right? They have enough to proceed because, in his opinion, a crime may have been committed, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, he's the top lawman, right? As in law enforcement, right? But whether he really looked at the situation and weighed the legal merits of it, the man is not a liar, right? It's not to say that common sense can't prevail in our situation where you could read something and understand from it what it means, but what the commissioner said, what the acting Minister of Home Affairs said and did, and what the DPP office came back with, it makes it seem as if though the good commissioner is out of touch with what that piece of law says and what was the actual merits of this thing moving forward, had it gone to that point where they were in court litigating it, right?
I like where you took the conversation, though, saying that it's almost like Minister Mira kicked a wasp nest, because since then, there's been so many other unfoldings,
All the
including,
buzzing and the stinging that happen now, right?
you know, including this being taken now to the Integrity Commission by
Yes.
Mr. Edward Broster, and even getting an update as of yesterday that they believe they have enough evidence to move this forward.
Yes. So that was one of the developments yesterday, because last Tuesday, a week from yesterday, we were in Belmopan when Mr. Broster, a former top-ranking police officer, lawman, went to Belmopan and delivered a sheaf of documents to the Integrity Commission and a complaint asking them to begin an investigation into this thing, right? And while they received the documents and everything, one could say that this was new for them. This is like uncharted territory that they were venturing off into. And so we decided as a newsroom and as par for course, you have to have a follow-up on some of these stories, right? And so we said, okay, well, it's been a week. Let's find out where we are in terms of the Integrity Commission looking at this thing and determining whether or not they will actually kick off an investigation. And so initially when we reached out to Mr. Broster, he was like, man, I hear about nothing funny.
Yeah.
Nothing going on yet. 1 week later, mum's the word, right? And we attempted to reach out to the chair of the Integrity Commission. We weren't successful in doing so, but in my opinion, and from the impression that I got speaking with the reporter, is that she may have caught a whiff that we were onto something, right? And so then the Office of the Integrity Commission reached out to Mr. Broster, right? So we had an interview with him in the early part of the morning. By midday, closer to 1 o'clock, there was an update that says, okay, you know what? We have enough here. We'll proceed to commence an investigation. Now, we want to make it abundantly clear. This is not to say that it's an indictment of Minister Mira. It's simply to say that they're launching an investigation to see if there was anything untoward that took place during this whole thing. Now, that Mira Millions thing, that was a serious thing now. We've been talking about this for the better part of 2.5, going on 3 weeks. And to me, from where I sit and how I'm looking at it, it only gets worse in terms of all of these payments that were made, and in terms of, you know, what seems to be, you know, an elaborate and very well calculated operation, if I could call it like that, right?
Here's an interesting comment coming from a viewer, Michelle Sampson. She said, yes, and I feel if his siblings hadn't gone and tried to bully people after the fact, many would have just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah.
But no, you know?
When
and it's very true.
And I'll go on the record to say this as a matter of my personal opinion, right? When someone goes online, because obviously social media is the platform of choice for people to express themselves, right? When somebody goes on record and says, and I'm paraphrasing once again, right? If you don't like my shine, close your eye.
Yeah.
Darn, that's insult to injury, especially if we question certain things, right? The public has a right to question certain things if it's taxpayers' money is involved.
Absolutely.
If it's a matter of policy and governance and how we are governed, so to speak. We have a right to ask certain questions.
Yeah.
So to retort and say, well, if you don't like how I reflex, then close your eye and move along. Nah, man.
Yeah, people
Right?
like to use the opportunity or use a situation of like the crab in the bucket, which I don't think applies to this situation. Here's another viewer saying, Tyler Smith, as a former lawman, when situations come to the police, one of the first things we ought to do is weigh the merits of the situation to determine if there are any grounds to even proceed with levying
Precisely.
charges. As a regular citizen listening to the situation, I could tell you the whole fiasco was a waste of time time, and it makes it all the more evident now that Mira was flexing his muscles and Rosado was following his instructions.
Good. So here's the thing, right? So, again, yesterday was sort of pivotal in terms of these developments, right? Yesterday, the cybercrime charge was dropped against Alberto Agas, and the DPP's immediate directive was return the man's cell phone back to him, right? So that happened in the early part of the morning. By midday, or thereabout, Oscar Mira, area representative for Belmopan, posted the pushing of a road and all these other works, right? But, boss, that not take away, you posting about the road and you see the image there, the spotlight still up on you and your family for answer we got now with all of their payments were questionable. Right? So you can't, with all due respect to the work that he's doing in his constituency, this is one smoke screen that Belize people could see right through. Right? You still have to answer. Right? The Auditor General still has to do her work to determine what took place in terms of how these payments were made and all of the things that surround this entire controversy.
All right. Well, let's move things along,
Yes,
Isani. I know that yesterday we sort of commented on the Elude Miller situation with Alan Pollard, kind of figuring out where things are as of some information that we received, that there was a conversation that Elude had with the Prime Minister. Just about an hour or so after that, we saw a release from Elude Miller himself go viral online, and of course that also followed by an interview that he would have done with one of our colleagues here.
So before we get into the contents of his release or what have you, again, I'll just opine, right? Thankfully, I have the space to do that outside of my news director hat, right?
Tell me.
Look, if you have a particular dream or vision, and this is driven by personal and professional ambition, why would you step aside to allow someone else to pursue that for themselves, right? So if you look at the two of us, right? Perhaps we're competitive and we're driven when it comes to certain things, right? But you want the same thing where I want, vice versa. And I've been working toward this all my life. I said, you know what? That coveted seat, that'll be mine. And I'm aligning myself and doing everything. Then somebody come and say, you know what? Isani, stand down and make Sab go. No, man. This is the example that I use, right?
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get into some trouble with the members of the cycling community. Because this is the fittest parallel that comes to my mind, right? If I had to ride cross country, right, as part of a team, riding cross country as part of a team, the team in this case being the People's United Party, right? And my desire all along has been to win the whole Saturday Cross Country Championship and hoist the garland and all of these beautiful things, right? But they're saying, okay, but Sabrina should win. Sabrina should be the person to win this year or whatever if the team makes it this far, right?
This is her turn.
Yeah, and then somebody tells me, by Sani, fall back and make Sabrina go. But there's an open, no, man. I can't.
So you know the thing about the team, you know the thing about the bigger picture, Isani.
One could argue that, and that's fair. But go back to what I'm saying. If there's a personal and a professional desire to achieve a particular goal and it's in front of you, why would you not take it?
Yeah.
So in this case, right, let's bring it back home. In this case, Miller is looking at a vacant seat. Again, they still have to go against the UDP. We are talking about that crowd in a little while, though, right? But for now, he's looking at a vacancy that will come up next year when the incumbent mayor decides that, okay, I'm done with electoral politics, right? So when that happens, there's a clearly open space there for him to say, okay, I will challenge that seat because now I'm closer to achieving my dream.
Yeah.
And then one step closer if I say, well, okay, I'll put my name in the hat for that particular seat. No, nothing against the good Mr. Pollard, right? But it can't be a situation where we didn't make it clear for you just walk into that as the PUP's candidate of choice when you have other people who's supposed to could have the same desire as you do.
So what do you make then of this argument? Because I like where this conversation is going. Elu did an interview with one of our colleagues here, and he mentioned, I think it was posed to him, the situation that took place when Alan Pollard was asked to step down and allow the incumbent mayor an opportunity to run another term. He is saying that this is different.
Exactly.
And so I think I really appreciated that he provided the parallel of the two, painted that picture, because it allows persons on the outside looking in to realize that no, this isn't exactly, you know, sidestepping one person and suppressing one person's dream.
So let's expand it, sorry, to say this then, right? The difference is, look, the People's United Party then had all confidence in incumbent Mayor Wagner that he could run for another term and be successful, right? So then they're asking all other potential competition from within the party, stand back. This is the person that we want to run again. Now that very same person is saying, okay, you know what? After this term I done, I will step down. So it creates that vacancy that I referred to earlier. Now it's for the taking for anybody else.
Yes.
So why should one animal be more equal than the other? If it's an open democratic process, or it's supposed to be an open democratic process where anybody could put their name and throw their hat in the ring, right? So now we move from that and we go over to the United Democratic Party. So this hasn't been made official yet, but we're still in conversation with the leadership of the UDP, and we're understanding that there are going to be two candidates who are going to face off to become the mayoral candidate for the opposition party. So we have Jacqueline Willoughby and we have Damian Goff, right? So many people would remember Jackie Willoughby from her union activism more than they would remember her from being in the legal field now. Many people would also remember Damian Goff from his time with the Belize Sugar Industries Limited. He was one of the prominent faces with BSI some years back, right? And these are also stalwarts of the United Democratic Party. But if I'm to share this, right, while Jackie Willoughby is regarded as a no-nonsense person, straight shooter, right, I think some people would ask, how affable is she as an individual where you could walk up to and have a conversation and not feel like you create a hostility or tension with this person who seemed very, very stern. And I use the word very, very stern for want of perhaps a better description, right? But you know that a politician, you have to be likable, right? You have to be somebody where anybody could approach and have a conversation with you. No matter if it's the most mundane thing they talk about, they just find that energy and they want to be a part of that. And some people, their personalities can be a bit abrasive or standoffish, right? And that's where I'm going. Now, with Damian has been operating in certain circles as far as I know. He was a huge part of cycling at one point as well. And so he's also well known for doing his thing. But I've never really seen him as someone who's out there pushing politics, not only for the party that he represents, but putting himself out there as a politician. So this is new, and I'm speaking again solely from my point of view.
Right.
It may not necessarily be that for other people who are in the know or closer to them, and I respect that, right? I'm only going by what I see as an outsider. But yes, that's what it appears to me, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Now you have two conventions that are going to be held before we actually get to March 2027 when there's the actual municipal election. And this is only Belize City. We have so many other cities and towns that we're looking at in terms of the mayoral or the local government race.
Let me look at some comments really quickly. I see Ras Welch saying here, I'm very proud of these two young men that want to continue serving the Belizean people, as they are very humble and seems very dedicated to what they want to achieve for the country. So 100% support. Let them go into a convention and let the Belizean people pick who they want.
May the best man win.
Yes, Michelle Sampson said, not only a clear message, but Alan, choose to back down. It's a choice. Alrighty. Well, it's on our final topic that I think, because we are running a bit out of time, we should jump into is the auditions that were highlighted last night. I know KTV, the remix season 8 had, it really brought about a lot of viewers. I was watching on YouTube. I know on Facebook they had their own crowd over there as well. But it was exciting. We saw a lot of returnees, I'll say that much. But we saw some new faces as well. So I'm always excited about those persons. For example, I believe her name is Diejane. I might be saying that wrong. But she came in, she spoke about this young lady as well. I'll tell you, right, that just audition, so I'm not acquainted fully with their names yet, right? But
you're forgiven.
yes, thank you for the first week, right? So this young lady I saw, and I was so excited about her. She had such a beautiful voice. She sounded kind of like Olivia Rodrigo, who's a more
when you're
recent.
all the way there with the comparison?
Yes, man. You need to go.
Just at the audition?
That's how I know. You know, watch the auditions.
Just
because
Olivia Rodrigo?
Yes, man.
Wow,
she
at
sound
the
good.
audition level?
Yes, she sound good.
Man,
so
all right.
I was telling Paul.
I take your hyperbole in stride.
Thank you. So I'm going to tell Paul yesterday, right, that whenever I watch auditions, I don't write my little notes. Okay, this is who I think can win. And so I was watching a couple of them. Of course, I got a few laughs out of it too. But I definitely have my eyes on a couple of the performers that I definitely think will make it next week. And so my fingers are crossing. I love this young lady. She's from the islands, and she performed a Rihanna song. She sounded really good too. She kind of gave her own original take on a song as well that she performed. I can't remember the song, but yeah. Oh, she's also returning.
I still stuck by this Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes, man. I didn't tell you what's sounding.
That's like if you tell me it sung like Beyonce. What?
I mean, come on, no. That's apples and oranges. But they sounded good, right? There were some good performers. I also got some laughs. You know, one of the things I love about KTV that it comments as well. So I'm going to get my tiki out of that.
Brutal, but
that's true.
Again.
I saw a post that was done. Tyler Smith said that he said something about Channel 5 need to give KTV a rest because we know they hear no strawberry wine. Nobody want to hear strawberry wine.
Hey,
no more Tyler.
And I'll say this again. I'll be raked over the coals. It is what it is, man. Look, we need to retire certain karaoke songs, man. And
we need to retire strawberry wine.
Yeah,
I don't know what Tyler to say.
That's why I never go to any karaoke thing. Because Belizean people stop on one thing. Anyway, moving along. That's about me.
All right, yes. So, as you know, this is only the start, the first episode of this season. And so next week, we all move to the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts, where 12 of the contestants from the auditions will be making it to the stage. And of those 12, 2 persons will be eliminated on the first night. And so I know that there will be a lot of nerves next week, Tuesday. But come on out. You know, you can purchase your tickets and you can find yourselves at the Bliss for 8 o'clock and bring your friends, your family, or you can watch it at home and get just as much of a good show. Alrighty, well, we do have to close off this portion of the conversation. I see Tyler laughing about the strawberry wine. You wrong for that. But we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to move into our first conversation. Women's Commission powers fundraiser for No Matta What.
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you. It's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place. When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin.
so your baby can play freely. And you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers. Comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
The next station is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Running a business means every dollar counts.
As a business owner, you face different challenges every day. You need cash flow on hand as soon as you can.
With Belize Bank's same-day settlement, transactions settled by 4 p.m. are credited the very same night.
The same-day settlement will definitely make a difference for my business because I know I have money in the bank so I can pay my suppliers, my staff, etc.
Faster access to your funds, better cash flow, greater control. And with auto settlement, it's done for you every day. Same-day settlement from Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." One of the things I dread most in coming to Belize is check-in time at the airport in Houston. I put my baggage upon the scales at the check-in counter very anxiously because I know most of the time I'm overweight and have to pay extra for the excess baggage. You know, the Christian life is like that. There are so many things required of us to make the journey through life and to heaven. However, too many of us carry a lot of excess baggage around that makes our trip cumbersome and costs us dearly. Unforgiveness, guilt, bitterness, unbelief can be excess baggage that robs you of the joy in your life. Why not take a baggage check and eliminate the excess baggage in your life today? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
And welcome back. Joining us for our first conversation this morning is the Executive Director of the National Women's Commission, Eleanor Murillo. Good morning, Ms. Murillo.
Good morning. Good morning.
And along with her is the producer, director, and writer of No Matter What, Steve Berry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be back.
Good morning, guys.
Yes.
For people who may not know about No Matter What, people who are perhaps late to the party, in a manner of speaking, can you begin by explaining to them, to our viewers, what is No Matter What and what is the purpose of this particular show?
All right, well, No Matter What is actually the first dramatic TV series of Belize. I've been working with the producer, Denver Fairweather 13 Productions, since 2005. between 2005 and 2010, we actually produced 4 seasons of No Matter What, and it's basically just a I guess a dramatic series based on the wants, needs, and desires of what we, called a typical, Belizean family. And it was very, very, very popular during that time. And, we were coming up on the 25th, or the 20th anniversary last year. So I told Denver, I said, we need to have a 20th anniversary, retrospective screening, which we had back in November. And it was so well attended and, looked so good up on the screen after 20 years. We decided to actually, take it off the shelf and do a 5th season. So we're actually in season 5 and doing production for season 5 now.
Well, the last time we had you guys here, we were talking about auditions and an opportunity for fresh face and new energy to join the cast of No Matter What season 5. I know that you mentioned finding some new talent even. How has it been since then, being a part of the production, putting together this latest season?
It's been great. And once again, we found more fantastic talent here in Belize. I mean, Belize has some very talented people that, look good and act good and, do a wonderful job on camera. I would name some names, but I have a tendency as a director that I stay with the character names and what their actual names are, But it's some good. We've got another great cast, and one of the main cast members that have coming back is the character of Lasani, the daughter, and that I should know her name by now, Shakira.
Okay.
She's back, which is wonderful, and Margaret's coming back, and Dan Man should be back, and it's going to be interesting.
How do we maintain the social relevance and the currency of a show that you're bringing back 20 years later when it's an entirely new generation of young Belizeans who may not have seen No Matter What in 2005? How do you make it relatable and current?
Well, what's going on basically is that a lot of who were the kids in the original season are now the adults, and they have kids. So a lot of the storylines will deal with them, and they're handling their family and their wants, needs, and desires, and what's going on. This season 5, is also dealing with what we've always dealt with, social issues. And so gender-based violence is a very major topic that we're actually dealing with, with this season.
I imagine that's also how this collaboration was formed. We have Miss Eleanor Murillo here, Executive Director of the National Women's Commission. Ms. Murillo, talk about this collaboration, which led to the Commission now benefiting from a fundraiser through No Matter What.
Yes, and we're very thankful for Steve. Mrs. Beverly Gutierrez, she is the founder of an NGO called Heroes of the Cry. She's also a supporter of the National Women's Commission, and she reached out to me and said Steve had asked her to collaborate with her to do the fundraising, but she said she wanted the National Women's Commission to benefit from it, and right from there we begin our planning. And as he said, no matter what, a lot of social issues, it's things that we're responsible for monitoring: gender-based violence, other forms of gender issues, health, education, and all the other things going on within our country. And so it ties in with what we have to do, and we know through culture, storytelling, movies, it's a way that people can then now have empathy, compassion. People can look at some of the issues and see how they can help others. It also is an opportunity for us to provide education at a wider scale, because No Matter What is very popular, especially for the generation that grew up with it, and so he's giving us the funds, whatever we make from the event at the Belize next week Friday, and basically showcasing not only No Matter What, but some of the work that he has done, and they're mostly women-led stories, which is so very important. And so we're inviting everybody to come out and support. It's for a worthy cause. The way things are going, we have a lot of issues and we have a lot of work to get done, and so every support that comes in would really help. the National Women's Commission in the work that it does.
I think what stands out to me, Ms. Maria, from what you said was the power of storytelling and the way that it can really capture a level of empathy. I think, you know, even adding to that is the ability of viewers to see themselves in these characters, especially Belizean storytelling and Belizean characters as well. And so you really, Mr. Berry, have a level of, I think, something so special in your hands to be able to advocate for people, to highlight the realities of what women and children are experiencing, and even men as well, and allow conversations to happen based on the stories that you're telling. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I think I do. In fact, like I said, back in the early days, I mean, again, it's just the power and the effect that No Matta What had. I mean, people would say they would run home from work, you know, in order to be sitting in front of the television, you know, in order to watch it when it came on. And it's going to be really hard to, you know, make lightning strike twice. But, you know, we are working on making that happen. And again, what the actual event is I'm calling it or we're calling it an evening with the film and video works of, you know, Steve Berry, the director of No Matta What, because I've been coming back and forth for 20 years. I've always wanted to share my personal work, other work that I've done, you know, throughout my career. And so that's what this is. And it is by what I call my female lead flicks, you know, which are all of the films actually have female lead characters in it.
So tell me a little bit about some of your other works. Do they also encompass that Belizean storytelling, or is it just a wide range of different projects that you would also have done even outside of Belize as well?
Oh, definitely. And again, that's part of it, to show pretty much my range. One of the main pieces I have is a piece called The Light. I actually did it back in the mid 80s, 1980s, when I was living in Philadelphia, through the Minority Advisory Board of WPBI Television Channel 6. And it's a half-hour made-for-TV movie that deals with a jazz blues singer who marries a minister, you know, and starts singing in the church. And every now and then she kind of jazzes up the music, which isn't appreciated by her, you know, strict husband in the congregation. And then the true love of her life, you know, Kenny James, this sax player, comes back from touring Europe and wants her to join him on this next leg of the tour that he's doing. So she has to decide on whether to follow her true love of music, you know, or stay with her kind of constricting, you know, minister husband. You know, and there's another one, a little music video that I did I'm very proud of. I call it 4 Women of Genesis. And there's the Nina Simone song, 4 Women. And, you know, that's what was inspired by, because when I first heard it, I was at film school at UCLA back in the early 80s, and I said, oh, that would make a great film, you know, just trying to somebody do that. And they said, oh, well, you know, Julie Dash has already done it. So I said, oh, okay, forget it. So then I saw what Julie Dash did, you know, and she basically just had the song was playing and this woman was dancing on the stage. You know, and, you know, she never changed costumes and, you know, just danced. I'm like, no, that's not what I had. I had for 4 women, each woman would be, you know, succinct and separate. So I actually rewrote the song, you know, and made it from the Bible. And when I was looking for characters from the Bible, I realized that the 4 characters I selected, you know, were from the book of Genesis, which is Eve, Sarah, Hagar, and Rebecca. You know, and I actually have stories, you know, about them. I recreate them through dance, through still photography, black and white still photography, and I have a couple, you know, dramatic reenactments as well. And that's one that I'm really proud of.
What's the primary audience that you're looking for? Because if your works span from the mid 80s all the way to now, again, you're looking at a generational gap in terms of people who appreciate this kind of work versus a younger generation, for instance, that is driven primarily by social media as opposed to sitting in a theater space and watching a film all the way through.
Well, all I could hope for is the fact that, you know, the work is strong enough to stand on its own. And in fact, I used to always find it kind of crazy, you know, earlier in the career, you know, when you're trying to get set, trying to get to Hollywood, people, well, who's your audience? You know, I would say, whoever wants to watch it, you know, whoever wants to see it. And that whole thing about who's your audience and kind of, you know, setting it into a certain perspective, you know, I never really saw that. So hopefully, it'll hold up and people will appreciate, the work that I've done. And anyone who can't make it for whatever reason, all these pieces can be found on my YouTube channel, which is Torb 1958, Torb 1958, all lowercase, no spaces. And also, just as a shameless plug, I've got like 465 subscribers. You got to have 500 subscribers to monetize the channel.
Okay.
So I am looking for Belize to help me monetize my YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go back to the National Women's Commission as we spoke earlier about this event. The proceeds from it will go directly to the National Women's Commission to further fund their projects. Let's talk a little bit about some of those projects that you guys spearhead on an annual basis that goes right back into the community impacting these very women.
Well, besides Women's Month that we do in March and 16 Days of Activism that we do in November, December, we have year-long educational work that we do. And so we're in communities, we're in workspaces, providing education on the laws. We have if you are aware, we have new laws, new legislations, such as the Domestic Violence Bill that will soon become an act, such as the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act. We also have a Families Bill that is also coming up. So it's to educate the public, educate everyone. What are your rights? What can you apply for? What should you expect? The referral pathway, where do you get services? And how do we monitor those services to ensure that persons are getting adequate services? Because we still get a lot of complaints about service providers and the type of services they provide that are not adequate. So it's really to support community from Corozal right down to Toledo to ensure that no one is left behind. They know what are their rights, they know what's going on. We want to also see changes in norms, things that we have normalized that are not right, we saw an influx in cases of child sexual abuse. So in August, we want to pull off a big march, hopefully in different districts, to pledge solidarity with victims, children, victims and survivors of sexual violence, as well as to say no more. Because a lot of things we have so normalized, parents not want to report because of shame, stigma, and sometimes for financial gains and things like that. So we have enough social issues to try to chip away one at a time and to see behavior change, because that is what we need. Having the information is one thing, but how do you internalize it to then do the right things to make life better for your family and so on?
I think the gap between having the information in the Commission's case, sharing the information and persons internalizing it is the awareness aspect of it. Do you face a challenge from the Commission standpoint, I guess on a daily basis, to ensure that the right people know that there are rights and protections in place for them?
Oh yeah. And it's not so easy for behavior change. I can recall recently we had a doctor going into one of the high schools in Belize, and female doctor, and was telling the girls, her advice was to wait until you're in your mid-20s to have children. And do you know that group of girls laugh? They found that funny. And so, in their community, I guess it's the norm for children 15, 16 to begin to have children.
Oh, wow.
So now here you are telling us 25, and they did not take it in because that's not their norm. And so we really need to do more research and to become more creative.
The thing is,
in terms of
teenage pregnancy has become normalized, as you mentioned. It's one of the many different social challenges that we're dealing with, where Belizean people just figure it to be okay and normal. So when you try to tell someone who's a teenager, hold off until you become an adult, two things immediately come to their mind, perhaps. Who you for tell me that?
Correct.
That's one.
Exactly.
Two, it's all around me. So what would make me different in terms of waiting until I'm 20-something or 30-something to have kids?
But wouldn't you want a better life than what you see around you? Why would you want to be in those same situation and continue that generational cycle of early pregnancy, poverty, lack of education, depending on government to maintain you and other people to maintain you, being angry and boisterous and always, you know, being on the defensive. So it's a lot to unpack, but yeah, so it's not just telling them, but telling them why. What are the benefits of holding off? Wait until you already have a job. You start saving. Travel the country,
see
enjoy
the world,
life
do
before
something,
before you get
Find
because
yourself.
having children are serious responsibilities.
Here's the thing, right? And I don't have any numbers. I'm just going completely anecdotally. I think more often than not, when you have children who have children, the couples don't stay together. Right? So if you have a picnic when you're 16, 17, what are the odds of you being with that individual on a long term to raise that child together? Right?
I think though, what we have to also acknowledge is that oftentimes these very same situations of children having children, there's other socioeconomic factors contributing to that. And it kind of takes me right back to No Matta What, because those are the types of stories that we are seeing in the production of No Matta What. And it forces us to have that conversation, to put these pictures together and say, oh, you know, you might be coming from a broken home and search for love somewhere else, and that kind of ties in, and there's a ripple effect. And I see the power of that storytelling, and where a regular campaign like inviting people to come out and walk does one thing, I think there are other ways that you can also create conversations. So a fundraiser like this is exciting, and I'm hoping that we can see future projects like this. I go back to a question that I believe I asked you before, Mr. Berry, where you get your inspiration from, because these stories, they can't, I don't think they all come from a dream, you know.
Well, I'm not the writer.
Okay, so tell me about the writing process.
Adele Ramos is doing the writing. Originally, it was Adele Ramos and Kim Vasquez. We had two writers. And pretty much Adele dealt with a certain set of characters and storylines, and Kim dealt with a certain set of storylines and characters. And they would write the scripts, give them to me, and I would kind of read them and put them together and, you know, mash them around. And sometimes, you know, I'd have to write, you know, like transitional material and everything. So I'm not the one coming up with the ideas, you know, or the concepts, you know. But I kind of try to put them together and make it all make sense in the end. But another thing I think I need to actually mention before we run out of time is part of this is going to be a silent auction, art auction, you know, with the artwork of artist Jay Berry from Iowa, who happens to be my mother, and also Olive Hampton, who's known locally here from Belize, and she does some artwork as well. And we're going to have a silent art auction as a part of, you know, this fundraising, you know, effort.
All right, so remind us again of the date of the fundraiser, time, and price of the tickets, if there are tickets involved, and how we can get in.
So the fundraiser will be at the Bliss Institute, July 10th, next week Friday, from 7 until 10. It's right, we're going to show these beautiful stories of women, but also the action. You know, he brought the pieces to us, and we saw about 50 pieces or 30? 30 to 50 pieces of artwork.
Oh, no, that was the selection. It was going to be like 15.
I know, but I mean the amount we saw and the beauty. It shows culture. And even if not all were Belizean, we could still identify with these pictures. So we're asking persons who love art as well to come early, look at the art piece, select the one that you like, and you know, at the end you may be able to walk away with your art pieces. So it's a family affair, $20 for adults, $5 for children under 12.
Okay.
And if it's a big crowd, of course, we'll give a package deal. So come one, come all, and support the work that the National Women's Commission do to continue to empower communities across this country.
And the time again is?
7 o'clock.
And when does it end? Do you have an idea of roughly how long the event will be?
The latest would be around 10.
Okay.
7 to
The
10.
actual screening and discussion will probably, just be about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Maybe 2 hours. But there'll be food and, discussions and everybody be talking and hanging around afterwards. So it's going to be nice.
All righty. Well, guys, this sounds like a wonderful event, certainly for a worthy cause. And so we encourage you guys to stop by on Friday next week and take part in this fundraiser and give back, and also enjoy some creative works as well from Steve Berry. It's a pleasure having you both here, and we wish you guys all the best.
Great being back. Look forward to next time.
All right. All righty, we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is all about Coca-Cola kicking off FIFA World Cup celebrations.
If you're into news production, if you've got a sharp eye for what audiences care about, think quickly on your feet, and you're a strong writer, this could be your way into digital media. Greater Belize Media is looking for a digital associate. It's an entry-level, full-time position, and your chance to get hands-on experience in journalism and digital storytelling. Bring the energy, the curiosity, and the willingness to learn and work flexible shifts in a fast-paced media environment. Apply now by sending your CV and cover letter to gbtv@btl.net by July 1st, 2026.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Ever had your card declined? Now it doesn't have to be. Introducing partial authorization. If the card doesn't cover the full amount, it notifies you what's available. You can accept the partial payment and pay the missing balance with a credit card or cash. No decline. Get what you came for. Partial authorization now available. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Over. KTV is back and bigger than ever. Get ready for the KTV The Remix Season 8 premiere audition show on Tuesday, June 30th at 8 p.m. Who will impress the judges? Who will earn a golden opportunity to move on to night one? And who has what it takes to become Belize's next KTV superstar? From powerful vocals to unforgettable performances, the journey begins with the auditions. Don't miss the premiere of KTV The Remix Season 8, the audition show, Tuesday, June 30th at 8 p.m. One stage, one dream, one chance to call yourself the KTV champion. Only on Greater Belize Media.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean. the vacation capital.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you work for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our second conversation, and this one's for the persons following the World Cup. And if you're not following the World Cup, this one's for those who love Coca-Cola. Me right over here, but black caps, please. And we are excited to have this conversation because it's all about Coca-Cola kicking off FIFA World Cup celebration. So we're talking watch parties and we're talking partnerships. We are joined by a Coca-Cola brand coordinator from Bowen & Bowen, Miguel Martinez. Welcome back.
Morning, Belize.
Also with us is experiential marketing coordinator, also Tay Medina. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning. Good morning, guys.
All right, guys. Well, the hype is definitely there. You don't even have to hype people up about the World Cup right now. At many different, Isani said it's World Cup fever, and that's very true. At several business places throughout the course of the day and night event, people are watching the games and taking part in that experience. But what is it about Coca-Cola that makes those two kind of go together?
Well, Coca-Cola is one of the official partners of the World Cup. So a lot of the advertisements, you see a lot of games, you see Coca-Cola. We have a lot of loyal fans in Belize for football and for Coca-Cola. So we want to do a few. We're doing a few exciting things right now in the final stretch because we know there are a lot of exciting games right now.
Yeah.
Penalty shootouts, things are happening. So people are very tuned in, very excited about the World Cup. So definitely we're doing some things for them, to build a little more hype around Coca-Cola and also, the sport itself.
For those who are not able to actually purchase that ticket, fly to the United States and even pay for the ticket for the game, they are relying on watch parties or watching it at home. But a big deal right now is watch parties. How are you guys pushing the World Cup and pushing Coca-Cola through watch parties?
All right, so like Miguel had rightfully said, Coca-Cola is one of the official partners for the FIFA World Cup. At Bowen & Bowen, we're the distributor for Coca-Cola here in Belize, and we said, why not bring the World Cup experience to the residents across the country? And it was with that spirit that we started to plan several watch party viewings across the country. The first one was held in Orange Rock Thong that went Saturday, where we showed 2 games. The turnout was very well. And then we have the second watch party viewing, which will be held in Belize City at the DigiPark. It's also important for me to note that we've partnered with several entities such as DigiTV and the Belize City Council to bring this experience and to have, make people come out and enjoy themselves. At these watch parties, we'll be giving away free Coca-Cola merchandise. We'll be having games, experiential games that residents can come out play, such as the sub soccer, the inflatable goal, just to name a few.
That sounds good.
And then, of course, next week is the group stage doubleheader quarterfinal.
You have to explain that for me, T. Forgive me.
That when things really hotter.
Yeah,
things are hot. Things are hot.
But Dumb not dumb for me. What that mean?
Essentially, that's semi-quarter, semi-finals, right?
Okay, got you.
So knockout stages.
Knockout stages. So, you know, it's going to be hot, like what Isani said. Things are getting hot. So we're anticipating a lot of people, and we're inviting the general public to come out. And then we have the finals, which will be on July 19th at the Falcon Park in San Ignacio, Cayo.
Oh, nice.
You know, this one is going to be one that people are excited for. Everybody have their teams that they're rooting for. I mean, I'm rooting for Argentina. I know you said you're rooting for Mexico. So yeah, we're expecting a lot of people to come out, and we're also inviting the general public to come out and attend
so
this
this
watch
event
party.
is free of cost to the public?
Free of cost, free entry.
And if you're going to set up projectors and stuff, get the games going, or how you
an
gonna do
LED
that?
screen.
We have a large LED screen.
We have a large LED screen.
And as you mentioned,
if you ask me, Sonny.
Projectors are a thing of the past. I don't know how to say.
well, because the games are in the day, it's kind of hard to see games when they start, right? So as Steve mentioned, the event is free of charge. We'll be having some seating. So we ask the public, if they want to bring out, the leaf foldable chair or the leaf small chair, they could bring that out, because then as well, we like an orderly event. We don't want people to stand up front of the screen, and then the ones that are seated cannot see. So, if you have we have, like I said, limited seating, but you could bring out your little seat, sit down, watch a game.
So
it's a big family. Some people have been doing that, so it's going to be a fun family-filled event. Like we said, we invite the general public. They'll be having food as well.
Right.
I know the city council is bringing out vendors and things, so it's going to be, we're going to have Coca-Cola, we're going to have games, so it's a fun-filled event, and we said we just want to do something for the Coca-Cola aficionados, the football lovers, so for them to come out and have good, clean family fun.
I'll tell you this, right? Bowen and Bowen has been going all out when it comes to World Cup, especially this year. A few times I've been to my favorite hangout spot at the tavern. Everybody dressed the part, right? You have everybody who is serving, wear team jerseys, and it's an entire vibe, right? You can't go there every night because you got work or you got things to do, but you guys have invested as a company very much into the whole 2026 World Cup experience. Talk to us about being a part of this whole thing, right? In terms of not only planning, but experiencing it with fans of football.
So, excellent question, Isani. As you know, sometimes when the games are the show and you see a player they go, they look like they want to shoot or a goal, and the excitement there. It's important for us to connect with the public who are out there, who are watching. For me, knowing the background work and all the logistics and all the coordination that goes into planning these events, it's a lot. So whenever we have these events and we see people who are out there enjoying themselves, getting excited to see their favorite player score a goal, it's rewarding. For me, I try to interact with the populace who are out there, and I try to be just like them whenever I'm watching the game, and then while I'm working also, right? So
Well, you guys also have a little bit of a surprise box in front of us here, and I can't even open it and tell you what they inside, guys. But Miguel, give us an idea of some of the additional promotions that will also be involved, including the box itself.
All right, so I've been on the show a few times, promoting several things for the World Cup. I had brought the ball along with me a few times just to show people what will be upcoming. So in this case, we've launched this promotion. It's going for a few weeks now. Basically what it is customers or consumers can get custom Coca-Cola World Cup football. They have to purchase this box. What's in the box is one case of 600 ml plastic Coca-Cola original and the ball. So the ball is deflated; it doesn't fit. But so that's a promotion that's going on. So it's a very nice ball, high quality, high quality merchandise. So customers can find it countrywide, the supermarkets, superettes. We're aiming for over 100 stores at the location. And I've seen some here in Belize City, for example. I've seen Publix, Sam's, just to name a few. But they are available countrywide. So you see the box. All you have to do, pick it up. And take it home, and you have your product for the game, and also you have your nice Coca-Cola football. You can kick around you know, in the yard with your son or with anyone. So yeah, that's the promotion that we're pushing, you know, for the final stretch of the World Cup.
Is there a limited amount of the boxes?
Yeah, there is a limited amount countrywide. So while supplies last, it should retail roughly around, for the case, retails for about 54, 56.
Okay, not bad.
So that's not too bad. Like I said, you get your product for the game, and you get a nice football. So yes, that's a promotion.
And honestly, you know, you're going to be one of few that has one of those actual Coca-Cola balls as well. I think Paul got his hands on one. I got a gym bag, and I was happy.
You know what's interesting with the whole Coca-Cola partnership with FIFA?
Yeah.
Is that every World Cup cycle, there are collectibles, right? So if I remember, like back in the days, people had the Coca-Cola glass. With
the glass. I still have some of those from 1994.
Yeah, it goes back all the way to the 80s actually, right? People collect glass, and then when it's our Coca-Cola stuff, right? So sometimes when you go and visit friends of, you know, and they have like while eating in a kitchen or somewhere where it's on exhibit, all of their glass from way back.
It's also important for me to note that at these events, we essentially bring back the Share a Coke initiative that we had last year, whereby people can purchase their 600 ml Coke and they can get their names on the labels and stuff. So we're having that at these watch parties.
Nice.
So people can go to the bar, purchase their 600 ml, and then they can come over to the printing label station and they can place either their favorite teams, their names, or their favorite players' names on the bottles.
I'll tell you, right? So, like I given on the inside scoop, I actually have one of the labels with my name on my fridge. I love Coke that much. For real. But this is really cool. So, remind us again of the locations that you guys will be having the watch party and different time frames that people can expect to come on out.
All right. So, next weekend, which will be July 11th at the Digi Park, we'll be having our second World Cup showing. The first game will be showing at 3 p.m. Of course, we don't know who will be playing as yet because we're in the knockout rounds. Game 2 will be showing at 7 p.m. and this game goes for roughly around 90 minutes.
Not lately.
And then
lot of penalties and shootouts.
Extra time and shootout.
And then we have the finals, which will be on July 19th in San Ignacio Kaya at the Falcon Park, which will start at 1 p.m.
Okay.
These games start on time, so we're encouraging the general public to arrive to these venues on time.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, everything is free of cost.
So we have games, and then we also have a bar that will be selling soft drinks as well and water and stuff. That's important to note as well. But yeah, we're having games. You know, you can come in, watch a game for free. There's no charge for that. We have seating, and then like I said, if you want, you can bring your additional seating because you know directly there might be a crowd. So just advisable if it's a large, you bring a large number of people, then you can bring.
Nice.
And as you mentioned, vendors will be out there as well selling food, and so you don't have to worry about really bringing anything with you except your family and some cash, and enjoy your time there as well. Games, experiences will be on display. Gentlemen, this sounds like an exciting weekend lined up for World Cup or football lovers, really. And we know that Coca-Cola being in partnership with this is really, it really speaks to the quality of the brand and the legacy of the brand as well. As Asani highlighted from the 80s even, we have a commenter saying here that she still has some Coca-Cola items too. So that really just goes to say that. I'll see how long I can have my label on my fridge.
But come out and get another one if you want.
You know what? I like how you think we get. Exactly. All right. Well, gentlemen, as we wrap up, I'll ask if you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our viewers regarding the upcoming events and just what Coca-Cola represents.
Well, for me, I just want to encourage everybody to come on out, enjoy these free live showings on the LED screen. It's free of cost, so come on out, guys.
Yeah, and also I'll just remind the viewers to get their promotion. There are limited amount of Coca-Cola footballs countrywide, so get them while they're available and, you know, enjoy a nice cool Coca-Cola during the World Cup.
Absolutely. Alrighty, well, we got to close things off now and take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be joined by Super Furia talking about their latest song. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomie. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
They're not just cigarette, vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud they not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, and heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
The wait is over. KTV is back and bigger than ever. Get ready for the...
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're continuing our show this morning with another conversation. We're going to be joined, we are joined, by Roxana Anderson, otherwise known as Roxy. She is the lead singer for the Super Furia band. And of course, she's here to talk to us about a brand new video and a song that is being released. Good morning, Roxy.
Good morning,
and welcome
Roxy.
back.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And of course, I am pleased to say, Super Furia is so excited about this new song because it's not a typical Super Furia song, you know, the genre that we do. It's, but this song is geared to the beautiful, innocent children that we have here in Belize and throughout the world, no? Yeah. And it's trying to bring awareness to the kids as to what is bad touch and where not to touch and what to do in those situations. And especially because, you know, unfortunately, these bad touch usually come from persons they know, right?
Yeah.
Not from strangers and so forth. And it's summer is here, so they have more time at home and etc. So this song is going to teach the children. It has actions, you know, it's children friendly, super friendly, and the parents can easily just go play the song and let them do the little actions, and so they can get educated as to what is good and bad touch.
I saw a clip of it yesterday, and I have to say, you know, kudos to you, Roxy, and your team for being even open to the idea of advocacy in this way. We have known to love and appreciate Super Furia for bringing the energy to celebrations, to bringing a party vibe, but you saw it fit to collaborate with the Special Envoy for Families and Children in promoting awareness for children and girls specifically where sexual abuse is concerned. And so highlighting this today is really a premiere or a debut of sorts for the entire viewers and the public by extension to hear this latest piece and understand why it's important even for these conversations to take place within homes between parents
because it's
and
a taboo,
children.
Right? You know,
yes. You mentioned moments ago off air that there was a report recently of a 3-year-old child who was abused by a loved one in Orange Walk.
Yes.
For you, Roxy, as an artist, but just as a woman, how do you feel hearing stories like this?
You know, every day you hear these stories, you know, a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old, and I'm like, wow. And I'm a mom of 2 beautiful children. I have a 9-year-old boy and a 6-year-old baby girl. And I can't imagine what these children go through. And literally, I wrote these songs in tears. I didn't know how to start, how to get it, but I knew that I had to use my, you know, the talent that God has provided to me so that I can express myself through music. And I wrote this song, and I'm like, I'm gonna teach the children what to do in the event of things like, you know, if they are faced with something like this. And of course, when I finished the song, we went to the recording studio. Thanks to Joshua there, we had the song, and you know, the whole band pitched in, and then they put the little song, and even if you hear the genre of the music, it's a little children friendly, the little guitar and so forth. So creating the music was fun and everything, but when I finished the song, I literally burst into tears because it's just so sad that these children have to go through these situations. As
parents, we have a responsibility to be able to not only teach but show our kids what the idea of good and bad touch is, because as you mentioned earlier, Roxy, oftentimes it's people that they trust, right? Because kids build trust very easily, right? Especially when it's with adults, right?
Yes.
They believe that adults are authority figures that they could trust and be confident around. Only for some of these adults to break that trust with the kids, and they don't know how to respond or react because they may not have been taught what is a good touch, what is a bad touch.
Yes.
What is it to say, you know what, don't touch me there, or don't do this or do that, right?
Yes.
So I like the idea that you've actually put together a song that can easily teach children this whole concept of good touch, bad touch. What I want you to do though is talk a bit about the partnership with the Special Envoy on this particular project.
Well, you know, I already had the song, and I touched base with the office, and with no hesitation, they're like, Roxy, we fully support this. This is such an amazing project, you know, that will reach out to many children, and also will also teach parents, both mom and dad, how to talk to their parents. I mean, how to talk to their children as to. It's just easier, with them because children they learn by looking at your actions and so forth. So they enjoy the song, and they were in every step of the way. They were involved. I send them a draft of the lyrics. I send them a draft of the video. So they were also participating and giving their ideas as to what to portray in the video.
I have to go back to a point that Isani was mentioning just moments ago of, a time where we, as children, you would see yourselves being forced to respect these authoritative figures, which are essentially adults, but some of the times those are the very predators that are targeting these children. How would you advise parents to even begin that conversation with children, where sometimes these are the same parents who might have experienced that as children and have to suppress that memory, might have not even explained that to someone that they know and trust?
Well, I had a little piece in my song that also states, that if they tell you to tell a secret, there is no secret that stands up tall. So you have to be able to tell someone you trust. I know it's hard to tell a child who to trust because it's adults that's supposed to be protecting these children, and unfortunately the same adults are the ones that are hurting these children. So as a mom, I sit down and I told my children, if they, no one should touch you here, no one should do this, and if anyone does, you tell mommy or daddy. Your mommy and daddy you trust. And I even give them a little, I would say maybe a 5 person that they can trust. I am already telling them these 5 persons you can fully trust. You can tell mommy and daddy. And the little idea that they have is like, but mom, if they would do that, I would try to punch and kick, so innocent, and I'm like, no, sweetie, listen to the song. You shout and you run because you don't have that strength like an adult, I say.
What age do you start that conversation even?
Very early, very young. I'll go first, Roxy.
Yes.
I have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
And when I had my daughter, that whole idea of good touch, bad touch started from 2 years old.
Yes.
Right? You'd be surprised that kids soak up a lot of information at a very young age. So it's never too early to start if that's the direction you want to take in terms of enlightening the child, right? So for me, with my daughter, we started around 2 years old. With my son, same thing, right? And the reason being is that you can't say, okay, it's only for the girl child.
No.
Because sexual abuse or physical abuse, if that were the case, happens, it doesn't have a face, no gender, right?
No.
So you have to be able to teach them from an early age. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to teach them something catchy, right? Like the lyrics of the song, they'll always remember that, right?
Yes.
You always remember that because it stays with you. You have a little nursery rhyme, but it has a message, it delivers a strong message, and that stays with them.
For you, what age do you start that conversation with your children?
Wow. It was, I believe it started by 2. By 2 years, I'm like, only mommy can do this, mommy can do that. I've been explaining, and I even tried, because now I have a boy and a girl, so I tell them, you have to have your privacy, because even though they're brothers and sisters, and they're like, they don't see anything as bad, but we need to teach them, you're a boy and a girl, you guys need to have your privacy, and no uncle, nor aunt, or anyone should be able to do anything like that. So it's a really tough decision, because for me growing up, it was a taboo to be talking about these things. It's like, as a matter of fact, even moms and daughter, they didn't have that relationship that close. All they used to do is, show you how to cook, clean, try to prepare you to be a housewife, right? And so where's talk about anything has to do with sexual abuse or sex or anything, they don't talk about.
Completely off the table.
Completely off, really. It's it's now we are the ones that need to teach our children that what's wrong and what's right. And like the song says, if you want, I can do a little. Let me see.
You can prepare for
okay. Just let me grab the little.
You're connected to a wire.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, because I was
But we
gonna
will be
stop.
highlighting the music video in
Okay.
just a moment.
All right.
One of the questions I want to ask you though is, how do you go about switching hats? I mean, you know how to write catchy songs for adults to get a party going, you know. But that's different from nursery rhymes. You know, it requires a whole different type of sound, different type of beat, even. How are you able to switch that level of thinking to make sure that your words and the music and the beats appeal to a child's mind?
I think deep down inside, everyone has a little, child in them, so it's like that comes out. And I know what my children are listening to, and, they're into different genre of music. And so I think I got inspired with my children, they and I even show them, I'm like, eso como se escucha? I was like, how do you listen to the song? Do you get it? And when I saw immediately that they were doing the steps, I'm like, perfect. This is what I want.
Well, we want to see the steps as well. And so for the first time now, you guys will have an opportunity to hear Roxy's latest song, the title?
See the video.
My Body Belongs to Me.
My Body Belongs to Me. Let's go to that now.
Strong to stand for my right. Oh, listen close, I'm shouting out loud. Here's what my body's all about. From my head to my toes, it's a no-no zone. From my mouth to my chest, out for me alone. From my hips down below, keep your hands away. My body is mine every single day. Keep your hands away. If a bad person try to cross the line, remember your body's a treasure. So scream up for help with all your might and run to a grown-up to make it right. From my head to my toes, it's a no-no zone. From my mouth to my chest, out for me alone. From my hips down below, keep your hands away. My body is mine every single day. Keep your hands away. Scream for help. Run and tell. If they tell you keep a secret, don't you listen at all. Don't you listen. No secret about touching. Stand up tall. Stand tall. Use your big voice, make a sound. Shout it out. Scream for help and run to a grown-up you trust. No, 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 no. Whoa. From my head to my toes, it's a no-no zone. From my mouth to my chest, out for me alone. From my hips down below, keep your hands away. My body is mine every single day. Keep your hands away.
That's fantastic. Roxy, how can we follow and watch the music video online?
On YouTube, you go at Super Furia YouTube page and you can download it and you can play it for your children so that they can have an educational moment.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And we appreciate this initiative that you've taken on your own and then, of course, collaborating with the Special Envoy. Alrighty, we are going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is unfolding the 2026 plans for Miss Universe Belize.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Insurance fact. Did you know Home Protector Insurance provides liability insurance that is for licensing? Public liability insurance for the hotels and guest houses protects the guests staying at the resort. Tour operators insurance for on-site tourists and marine passenger liability for passengers. You take care of your guests, we'll take care of you. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
The next station is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you. It's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
Welcome back. This is our final conversation, but certainly not the least. We're jumping into the 2026 plans for Miss Universe Belize, and we are joined by the newest director of the Miss Universe Belize organization, Destiny Wagner.
Hey.
It's a pleasure having you here with us, girl. How you doing?
Amazing. Always good to sit in the comfy couch. It's a beautiful day.
You know, I was just thinking to myself when I saw you walk in this morning, you wear so many hats. And I have spoken to you, yourself in several different capacities as business owner, entrepreneur, leadership of the Belize Pilates studio, pageant delegate, Miss Earth, and now being a part of leadership, directorship even of the Miss Universe Belize organization. I'll tell you first off, when we found out that you were a part of that you were the director, you were tapped to be the director, there was kind of like a sigh of relief, at least from my part, because this came on the heels of learning that the Miss Universe Belize organization received new ownership coming from El Salvador. Isani, you would remember we had that conversation, and you were pretty optimistic about it, and I was like, no, we'd lose the culture, we'd lose the Belize, we need to run and scream. But when I heard that you were a part of the leadership, I felt a little bit better. Let's go back, though, to the announcement of Belize taking on new leadership taking on new ownership even, the Miss Universe Belize organization or franchise coming from El Salvador. What was your reaction to that before you were even tapped?
I feel like it's very common in the pageant world. So to me, it wasn't really like a surprise when these things happen, because a lot of owners, they don't necessarily live in the country in which they hold the franchise to. There's some owners that have franchises in Spain, France, Serbia, and they're all under the same ownership. So it's fairly common. So it didn't catch me off guard too much. But I can see if the public, specifically in Belize, is not educated or aware of the pageant world and what happens behind the scenes, how that could catch us off guard naturally.
Yeah, I like that you pointed out the behind the scenes aspect, because it's one thing to sit in the audience and watch from afar and just oversee and look on, and it's another to be a delegate and understand the level of financing that it takes and the level of resources that is required to put on a pageant like this locally, and then have all the resources that you'd need for the international stage. And I think that's what you were alluding to, Asani, about a week or so ago. Being in that seat as delegate, you were able to understand the level of work that is required individually and resources as well. How do you believe this new company will make a difference for upcoming delegates that will be able to represent?
I think it's almost an advantage for Belize, because now we have kind of two teams working for us. We have the company in El Salvador that's going to provide their resources, and then we have the national team in Belize. So we're kind of joining forces, giving us our delegate the better chance of getting that placement.
Here's the thing though, we're at the 1st of July, and we're only a few months away from the 2026 Miss Universe pageant. It's a fairly short period of time for us to find someone, train that person, and put everything in her to be able to represent Belize on the global stage. What does that plan look like for you as a lead person?
I will say that whoever decides to take on this challenge, that why you're doing it has to be greater than the how you're going to do it. Why you're doing it is because of Belize. You want to put us on the map. You want to represent us to the best of your ability, showcase our culture. That is your why. How you're going to do it in terms of your preparation and training, that matters, but that why is what is going to give you that drive. And I also want to point out that when I won Miss Earth, I only had 2 weeks to prepare. Wow. 2 weeks. So if you want it and you are hungry for it, it doesn't matter if you have a day, 5 days. What's meant for you is going to be meant for you.
I have to point out though that your experience was a little bit unique, because it was in a global pandemic and your pageant took place virtually.
Correct.
So a lot of these, and I imagine it's a little bit different, or maybe still also the same, because you did have to do promotions, videos and whatnot, and that takes time and money. But it's a whole new experience. It's different still, being on that international stage and interacting with all these girls and the boot camps and the rehearsals and all of that. You had such a unique experience, but still you have enough to be able to explain to these ladies what they're getting themselves into. As Isani mentioned, the international pageant is set to take place later on this year.
In November, correct.
In November, and we are pushing to have our local pageant in just a few months, right?
In August.
In August, yes. What's the preparation like?
The production is already happening right now.
Okay.
So as soon as I got appointed, I've already made some phone calls. The production is already taking place right now, getting the stage ready, getting the venue sorted. So it's coming along just fine, and I want to thank my team as well in San Pedro. We have Charles and we have Herman. They've been working really hard behind the scenes with me.
Now
so there's an open call for women who want to be a part of this particular cycle in the month of July, correct?
Correct. So we do have a casting call happening on July 4th between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. at Belize Pilates.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Who are you looking for? When we think Miss Universe, we are thinking like the Olympics of pageants, you know? It's a big deal. These girls, they have to look a certain way, sound a certain way. Is it the same thing as past pageants, or are we evolving?
I think pageantry is definitely evolving right now. So when I think of a queen, I think of someone who is kind. I think of a generous neighbor. I think of a loving sister. And most importantly, like a loyal friend. Those are the qualities that I'm looking for. And I'm sure the Miss Universe organization is also looking for a woman that can speak with confidence and be unapologetic of whom she is.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about the casting call and what is required of persons. You mentioned that it will be taking place at the Belize Pilates studio here in Belize City. What do they need to bring? Do you need to pay for applications? What will that process look like?
So you don't have to pay for applications. Bring yourself, bring your heels, bring comfortable clothing, whatever you feel the most confidence in. That is what you need to bring. Showcase your beautiful personality. We are definitely going to want to see your walk. Ask a couple questions, but it's going to be very wholesome. I want it to be very personable. I don't want the girls to walk in feeling shy or reserved. This is a time to really showcase who you are and let us know why you want to be the next Miss Universe Belize.
Share with us your thoughts on inclusivity, because the pageant world has taken on a totally different shape and form in terms of being able to, you know, open itself up for all people from different walks of life.
I think change is natural. Like change is the only thing that is going to be constant throughout this world. So we either have to get with the times or get left behind, but it's important that regardless of the changes, we have to stay true to ourselves as well. So just stay grounded. Everything around us is always going to change, but it's whom you are on the inside. That matters.
Having had the success in an international pageant like Miss Earth, what level of experience do you think you could bring to this organization and this franchise, which is very different? It has a different type of brand. And how do you ensure that it's centered around the delegates and people don't tie it to, we have Miss Earth, we have the former Miss Earth, Destiny Wagner here?
I got paid to judge pageants, okay? So I get paid to judge Miss Earth pageants, I got paid to judge Miss World pageants, Miss Universe pageants, so I've seen all of the systems. And I've traveled throughout multiple continents, emerging with these people, and most importantly, networking with big pageant people who run international pageant blogs, different directors, different CEOs, and I understand the benefits of carrying a crown and a sash. Once you put on that sash, you are more visible, you get more opportunities, and I'm able to leverage those opportunities. And I'm hoping to use my network to give those same benefits to the delegate, whoever that may be, whoever may win. So we just did an event with L'Oreal last weekend. I don't know if you saw that
I saw
online.
that, that's big.
And those are my connections, those are my friends. So we do have a phone call with them coming up as well next week to get them to sponsor the delegate. So I'm gonna use my network to really push these young ladies.
And I'm really hoping that it takes, you know, the next Miss Universe Belize representative to, you know, the possibility of actually winning, because I think Belizeans they're all excited about the idea of representing and rooting for someone, but we always seem to fall short when it comes to actually placing. Even if it's just being shortlisted in like the top 10, you know, people, they want to see us actually placing on that international stage. Do you feel the weight of that responsibility, hoping that the next girl that comes under your leadership will actually make it to being placed or even winning?
I always want Belize to place. I always want us to place. I think every Belizean always wants us to be number one. Not just place, but come out number one. Like, come on. But unfortunately, I can't control what happens once the girls are abroad. What I can control is what happens while they are in Belize, and I want to give them the best experience possible. And regardless of the outcome, we as Belizeans still need to rally behind our queen and let her know that she's supported. We don't want our queen to be feeling sad or feeling as if she's less than. She's representing us, and that position will always demand respect.
This is an expensive venture though, and I go back to the expensive part, because aside from putting on the actual pageant, which comes with its own finances and financial burdens, that delegate will have to prepare herself in a short space of time with outfits, with costumes. We have to put on a costume. We'll put together our costume in just a short space of time. Do we have enough support for this future Miss Universe Belize?
We do have enough support, and traditionally when we say these things, it's almost like a panic response. And I feel relieved that I don't have to panic about that, which is a great feeling.
Yeah.
And additionally, the winner gets 8,000 Belize dollars.
There
So come on, like this is, and I understand firsthand what pageantry can do. It can literally change the trajectory of your entire life. So if we have young women who are willing to step up, come on, like this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, Destiny, remind us again of the date of the casting call, what is required. I know that we are in an era of beauty queens with a purpose, and so I imagine that you're looking for someone who is more than just beautiful and someone who has more than just a fancy catwalk. And so tell us a little bit about what they will expect at the casting call.
So again, the casting call is going to be July 4th at between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. at Belize Pilates. I will be present along with some of the organizers from the El Salvador team. We're looking for someone who is heavily involved in their community, looking for someone who is a natural born leader and also charismatic. We can easily teach someone how to catwalk, but we can't easily bring out one's personality. You either have to have that spark in you. Regardless, be ready to meet amazing women and have fun.
All right. Well, as we wrap things up, I'll ask if you have any personal experiences that you would like to share with our viewers tuning in. Maybe there's someone who's kind of biting their nails and thinking, maybe this is my time that I can, go and do this. What's maybe a memory or that rewarding feeling that you have from actually taking that step and taking part in pageants in general?
You have to make the most out of it. And when an opportunity comes your way, it wouldn't have came your way if you weren't ready for it. So don't psych yourself out. Don't think too hard. If this is something that you would like to do, then do it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we do have to close things off then. I thank you so much, Destiny, for joining us, for sharing this update and this opportunity to persons who would like to tap into pageantry and really step into the big leagues right away as well. Miss Universe, starting off with Miss Universe Belize pageant set to take place in August. Reminder, the casting call is July 4th at the Belize City Belize Pilates studio. Well, Isani, we got to wrap things up at this time. It is July 1st, and we want to give a birthday shout out if anyone's celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday, we are going to instead take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up.
Here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
The next station is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Running a business means every dollar counts.
As a business owner, you face different challenges every day. You need cash flow on hand as soon as you can.
With Belize Bank's same-day settlement, transactions settled by 4 p.m. are credited the very same night.
The same day settlement will definitely make a difference for my business because I know I have money in the bank so I can pay my suppliers, my staff, etc.
Faster access to your funds, better cash flow, greater control. And with auto settlement, it's done for you every day. Same-day settlement from Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome back and thank you for sticking with us. We are now wrapping things up at this time and it's been a wonderful morning. Thank you guys so much for locking in. Also, thank you to our guests who joined us as well. It's July 1st and if you are a July 1st baby, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out or if you have any questions, comments or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on social media. We have Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BZ. Instagram for behind the scenes contents, that's OIE Belize. We also have TikTok, that's openyoureyes.bz. And then you can call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.